أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ورضي الله تعالى عن السادة التابعين وعلماء العاملين وأئمة الأربعة المجتهدين ومقلديهم إلى يوم الدين أما بعد السلام عليكم. Alhamdulillah. Imam Amin said that we're finished with the book for today. So, because we have to leave at 6 and we still didn't eat yet. So, remember where we left off here. So the next time we come here, we're going to pick up, we left off on point 26. So the next time we come here, that's where we're going to pick up at. Another thing that I want to mention, I mentioned before that someone graciously donated 10 books. They paid for it already. There's 6 of those left. And someone else donated 10 more books. So if you know someone that will benefit, so 14 more. So if you know someone that benefit, come take, inshallah.
We can tell we grew up on welfare stuff. Y'all just do everything free.
Let's put another free one on.
What, this book?
Oh, no, there is. I'll start with them.
So there's like 6 more free ones. We got 6 more EBT books. 5. One more. Got one more that's already been paid for. Left to take.
Oh, that was
No. Go ahead, take it. There we go. Both of them. So the one that's the second. How many is left? So we have 3 more left here. Don't worry, it's not the last of it. Anyone who needs a copy, whether you're watching online or you need some later, we have them at our website, norazamaninstitute.org. You can order it online. So this last session is going to be for general advice.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulihi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Alhamdulillah, this is a very beneficial discussion today. And as Imam Naeem mentioned, hopefully you all have us back. That's how we know that, that we was good. Because, people always tell us, oh, we love y'all, man. But then they be like, well, we don't want them back. Sometimes we do controversial. So that's how we know. We're not fooled by everybody. All that autograph stuff, we wasn't fooled by it, but we appreciate it. But if they invite us back, then we know that we was accepted. MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah, this is a great work, and this platform that we do this on, and try to take this around to our communities. This is a much needed effort, and so the goal is for all of us to learn it, and that all of you, as you get this information, you'll be able to teach this. So we need to revive the tradition of Ahlul Sunnah and the right Aqidah, because in this area that we're living in, we're bombarded with a lot of things that oppose it. And I just want to relate these to give you what they call that, a teaser. I think it's called a teaser or something, to get you going for the next. So, and when I started, I talked about the outcomes. So I want to mention these last 2 points in the book, or the last, the two before the last one. So it says that this is our deen and our aqidah, outwardly and inwardly. So it is very important. It is imperative that we make these efforts to learn this simple creed, and learn the intricacies of it and the explanations, and be able to articulate them, because this is something that is zahir wa batin. It is inwardly and outwardly, and we have to have this information, and that we study it and be able to teach it, inshallah ta'ala, because we're up against people who oppose this way. We're up against people who look like us, and they're teaching something totally different. And it's causing a lot of confusion. It's causing a lot of disruption in our communities, and this is something that we have to fix, inshallah ta'ala. And then the next line says, we absolve ourselves to Allah from anyone who poses what we have stated and clarified. And so we have to be adamant about sticking to this tradition of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, because in a lot of places it's not popular. And, because of the okie dokes that's been done on us, they switched it around that when you're teaching this stuff, in certain places it looks like that this is the wrong aqidah, and so that's how much more work we got to do. And when we're discussing these things, and people don't know, and they don't know that they don't know. So it's important for us to get this information and take it to our people, and specifically our people in our communities. We're talking about African Americans, foundational Black Americans, whatever term you want to use, or Black folk, Black Muslims. I know people don't like that term, but Black Muslims in America. We are a community that people are marginalizing us, forgetting about us, and not making our face recognizable as the people who upheld the banner of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah in this country. We got to revive that. And each and every one of you are part of that. So this is not just a gathering where we're having fun and, we're eating and socializing. This is about knowledge, securing this knowledge and spreading it to our communities, to our children, to our families, inshallah, because we got a lot of stuff that we got to counter. And so the last line, and I'll conclude with that, it says, it's a teaser, I can't tell you the page. We ask Allah the Most High to keep us steadfast upon the faith and to end our lives upon it. Alhamdulillah, that's good. That's a good student. And we ask Allah to protect us from opposing sects and straying opinions. We ask Allah to protect us from wicked doctrines such as the Mushabihah, the anthropomorphists, and they have another name nowadays, Al-Mu'tazila, Al-Jahmiyyah, Al-Jabariyah, Al-Qadariyah, and others who deviated from the Sunnah and the Jama'ah and allied themselves with misguidance. We disavow ourselves from them. They are, in our opinion, in error and misguidance, and with the law is the protection and success. So when you read some of these early texts on Aqidah, right, you know that they were in response to deviant groups that had already existed. And so some of the points in the book that Imam al-Tahawi, he was responding to some of the ideas that the Mu'tazila and the Jabariyah and the Qadariyah had out at that time. So when you read these books, you have to read them in context. And these books stand the test of time. So when we come up against deviant ideas and deviant ideologies, we have to use the same format. We have to stand firm against it, and we have to oppose it, and we have to let people know This is the Aqidah of Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah, and that stuff that you're teaching that comes out of a certain university, out of a certain country, and certain places in the world, that's not the Aqidah of Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah. I don't care how many ayahs of Quran you say. I don't care how many hadiths you say. I don't care about these modern day scholars that you're talking about. They don't have this tradition. And we got to let people know that they don't have this tradition, and we got to teach them. Then we got to analyze people, make sure what their level is. Are they teachable? Are they refutable? Or are they disposable? Because some of our people, they're going to be disposable because they just ain't going to hear what we're saying. And so we have to be smart enough and keen enough when we learn this, and as it purifies our hearts and our minds, how we approach our people, because our people need healing with this belief, inshallah ta'ala. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for tawfiq. We thank you all for your time. This always brings joy to our hearts when people travel from different places and, you know, some distances to come check us out. And we really appreciate it. We love you all for Allah, and we appreciate all of you for you. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to increase us in these efforts and spreading the doctrine of Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Ameen.
Assalamu alaikum. I think when I came in, I saw a sign-in sheet, right? That's it. Rasul, where are you? Okay. It's important that everyone at some point before you leave, that you sign in. And the reason for this is because when we complete the book here, we want to give an ijazah saying that you heard all or most of the book with one of the many chains from our Imam going back from yourself to Imam Tahawi. And this is extremely important because this is about empowerment. What you heard today, we want you to be able to do the same thing. Because it's not about just calling us back here and repeating. It's important that you all be able to do it in your own language, so that the seed of Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah can be firmly planted here in this locality. And by your works and your speech and your word of mouth, you know, what was once a strange thing will become the norm. So for us to be able to do that, we need to make sure that everyone who said it was really here, since we're not doing it in one sitting, right? So when we come back, either one or two or three more times, however long it takes us to finish the text, that we'll give it to those who are there. And like I said, this thing is about empowerment, because when we depend on other people to do for us, we always get left hanging. We always get left hanging. And I just want to read something from the back, page 43. Let me put on my reading glasses. I'm getting old, I need reading glasses. I get LASIK to get rid of the regular glasses, and I still need reading glasses. I wanted to read this just to show how long we've been doing what we've been doing. The first Black Imams Roundtable was called Addressing Our Concerns. Beginning with that first session on June 20th, 2020, the Imams pledged themselves to address issues that are of concern to this neglected section of the Muslim Ummah community, the Black Muslim. They have vowed to address issues, sensitive or otherwise, in an open and frank manner, bereft of any sugarcoating or verbiage that takes into consideration the fragility of non-Blacks at the expense of the marginalized Black Muslim. Y'all understood what I said, right? In other words, we don't be tap dancing. And I wanted to mention that because when you tune into the Black Imams Roundtable, right, as Imam Fahim always says, come up off that bread, right? And I wanted to mention this here is because that $500 that you all donate every week, that made that possible for us to come today. That's what's paying for that. I want to connect the dots for you. That paid for our transportation here. We didn't have to charge Rasul or anybody or the organizers here to come here, because most our people don't have it like that. But when we come together, we're able to do things like that. I just wanted to just connect the dots for you to let you know that the money that y'all pay every Tuesday is what paid for this. What paid for us to come here and do these things. So just keep doing it. Alhamdulillah. And that's all I have to say.
Since this is a special BIRT event, it means special money should be given. You already know the links, right? Drop that bread, man.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. So for me, and my closing advices, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "Ad-dinu nasiha," that our religion really is sincere counsel, sincere advice. And to me, my life mission for the past 35, 40 years has been to do this. To teach people the creed of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah without any deletion. Can we all say something? Little repeating. Fil i'ada ifada. The more you repeat, it's a benefit. Real Sunni Muslims. Real Sunni Muslims. Real Sunni Muslims. What does that mean? Imam al-Tahawi started it. He said, هذا ذكر بيان عقيدة أهل السنة والجماعة. So real Sunni Muslims, if we wanted to say that in Arabic, we say Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. Can we say that? Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. That's step. Now we got English, we got Arabic. Men who are they? In the hadith of Jibreel, related by Imam Muslim in his Sahih and Imam al-Bukhari in his Sahih. One from the right of Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, and the other from the right of Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us that Sayyidina Jibreel came to teach the companions the religion. And he gave 3 essential elements. He asked, أخبرني عن الإسلام وأخبرني عن الإيمان وأخبرني عن الإحسان. Tell me about Islam. Tell me about Iman. Tell me about Islam. Ihsan, excuse me. And then the Prophet answered. And the scholars of this nation, they deduced from those 3 answers that al-Islam, it is isharatun ila ilm al-fiqh. It is an indication to the science of al-fiqh, right there. Islam is an indication to the science of fiqh, Islamic jurisprudence. Al-Iman isharatun ila ilm al-aqidah. And Iman, faith in that hadith, is an indication to the science of Aqidah, the science of belief, which is the book we're talking about. Al-Insan isharatun ila ilm al-tasawwuf. An insan in the hadith is an indication to the science of tasawwuf. In English, the science of Sufism. The Sunni Muslim, that Muslim is Sunni min al-sunnati wal jama'ah, he follows a methodology, a codified methodology, a systematic structure, a continued unbroken chain of narration in every one of those sciences, in al-aqidah, in al-fiqh, in al-tasawwuf, with an unbroken chain back to those great imams, from those great imams back to Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, from Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to Angel Jibreel alayhi salam, from Angel Jibreel ila Rabbu Alameen, Rabbil Alameen, into the Lord of the worlds, Allahu Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. هذا أهل السنة والجماعة. And you need to know this with certainty. We live in a time of identity theft. How many of you like someone to steal your wallet and replace themselves with you and go spend all your money? Anyone? No one would accept, right? Our teachers used to say, if that happened in your dunya, you would fight. But when it happens in your deen, you remain silent. Which tells you your dunya is more important to you and beloved to you than your deen. Don't be like that. Our deen is more beloved to us than anything else. Nothing is over that. So like I would defend my own identity, I'm going to defend the identity of my deen more than I would defend my own. And this was the Prophet ﷺ. For his own self, he didn't get angry. He didn't take retribution. But when it came for the deen, nothing would stop his wrath. That was the Prophet ﷺ. So in those sciences, and this is by the consensus of this nation. So in Iman, which is ilm al-aqidah, al-sunnati wal-jama'ah, or the Asha'ira wal-Maturidiyya. Can we repeat? In aqidah, in Iman, al-sunnati wal-jama'ah, or al-Asha'ira wal-Maturidiyya. Al-Asha'ira. Why are you so silent? Al-Asha'ira wal-Maturidiyya. Oh, I know why you silent. Al-Ash'ariyya wal-Maturidiyya. So we say Ash'ariyya wal-Asha'ira. That means the same, Ash'aris. So we say Ash'ariyya, Al-Ash'ariyya and Al-Asha'ira. Both Al-Sunnah. Wal-Maturidiyya. So again, fil aqidah, fil i'tiqad, al-sunnah, in belief, al-sunnah or al-ashariyya wal-maturidiyya. Again, come on. That's the name and creed of al-sunnah. If someone is a Sunni, the most common known way of the Sunni and creed is Ash'ari or Maturidi. And if you want to make some additions to that, whoever has their foundational creed. But in our books, when our scholars bring me, where he go? Come on, bring, don't hide, Malikis. Yeah, bring your books. Maliki Wahhabi. I'm joking. I'm joking. I have a point. No, he came to me at the break. Our young Najib, Newark's Maliki finest, right? So he brought me, just the book in Aqidah. He brought this book, right? Ra'ihatul Jannah, which is an explanation of another book in Creed, right? And the commentary was written by a Sheikh Abdul Ghani ibn Ismail al-Nabulusi, who was a Hanafi, Maturidi, Sufi, explaining a commentary on a book of an Ash'ari Maliki Sufi. Show you the unity of Ahl-Sunnati wal Jama'ah. And when I was in Damascus, we constantly went to the grave of Sheikh Abdul Ghani Nabulusi because we were Qaburiyun. We go to pray at the grave. Right? Look at the first line of this poem, and it's in the Creed. After Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, the author says, يقول أحمد الفقير المقري المقري المغربي المالكي الأشعري. They weren't shy. He said, the servant Ahmed, who is Fakir, remember we talked about Fakir, who is Makri, nisbah to his family, Al-Maghribi from Morocco, Al-Maliki in fiqh, Al-Ash'ari in Aqidah. They weren't shy. They weren't shy. Why are we shy? Our scholars were not shy. They wrote, we read their books, we transmit them, and then when it comes to us, we get shy. Al-ulama, they were not shy. They were explicit. Why do we be shy? You follow? This is very important. In a time where these schools of Ahl-Sunnati wal Jama'ah are the subject of identity theft, you need to be explicit. Do you follow my point? Don't be afraid. And trust me, whatever Allah has for you as a result of you being courageous, it is decreed eternally. Don't worry about it. And one of the things, a lot of the brothers here, when y'all see us taking our pictures, y'all, I think y'all gather with our pictures, but they literally seen us go through rough stuff to maintain this for decades. And the Sunnati wal Jama'ah are not a bunch of cowards. That's not a Sunni. A Sunni, no matter where, no matter with who, is going to hold the banner of Ahl-Sunnati wal Jama'ah. That's a real Sunni. Like Salahuddin al-Ayyubi. Y'all know who Salahuddin al-Ayyubi is? When the Crusaders invaded Jerusalem, he the one got them out of there. And you know what he did? After the Adhan was called, he had on the Adhan loud all across Jerusalem the creed of Al-Ash'ari across the minarets. He was not silent. You went in Jerusalem, in Damascus, in Egypt, you would hear the creed of the Ash'aris being recited loud on the minaret, like in the sound of the Adhan. That loud. I should tell you something. So that's in creed. And the Sunnah are the Ash'aris and Maturidis. And we live in a time where you have this pseudo-Hanabila. We are Hanbalis, but not Hanbalis. We are something else, hiding under the name of Hanabila. So someone would ask, Imam, why you don't say Ash'ari, Maturidi, and Hanbali? May be true. But so long as identity theft is not identified, we have to be explicit and clear and not hide. One time my sheikh, he went from Beirut to Tarabulus in the north, in Lebanon. And the sheikh came to him. He said, go teach these people. He went because there was a man who was there spreading misguidance in the name of the creed, opposite of the creed of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. And the sheikh sent him, like Abu Hanifa went from Kufa to Basra, to explain. When he got there, he explained the creed of Ahl Sunnah. The guy didn't accept, but he left. When he got from Tarabulus back to Beirut, the sheikh said to him, what happened? He said, I explained. He didn't accept. He said, did you tell him I'm a Wahhabi? Did you tell him you are a Wahhabi? He said, Sheikh, I've explained. He said, go back and go to his face and tell him, Anta Wahhabi. You are a Wahhabi. Don't let the people be confused and misguided. Tell them the truth. Tell them the truth. That's Ahl Sunnah. Our deen is hurting and we're worried about somebody's emotions. People are falling into kufr and bid'ah and misguidance, and we're worrying about emotions. La. Abu Hanifa would never do that. Imam al-Shafi'i would never do that. Imam Malik would never do that. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal would never do that. Why should we? That's in creed. In fiqh, Ahl-Sunnah are the Hanafis, Malikis, Shafi'is, and Hanbali. In fiqh, Ahl-Sunnah are the say it with your chest. Right? In fiqh, Ahl-Sunnah are
Maliki, Shafi, Hanbali.
and Ihsan, Ahl-Sunnah are Ahl Tasawwuf, the people of Tasawwuf. And if you take out Tasawwuf from Islam, you have taken the soul from the body. We are walking courts without Sufism. Walking courts. So for us, the Black Imams Roundtable, our mission is not to be harsh. Of course, we don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. But the feelings and the truth cannot be mixed. The truth has a priority to be followed, despite, even if some may not like it. As the Prophet ﷺ said, قُلِ الْحَقِّ وَلَوْ كَانَ مُرًّا. Speak the truth, even if it's bitter. And the scholars, they said about that, الساكت عن الحق في وجه الباطل شيطان أقرس. The one who is silent in the face of falsehood is a tongueless devil. The one who is silent in the face of falsehood is a tongueless devil. Let me explain something and I'll close with this. Because we can't go nowhere where we hide the truth. Too many of us do that. We see batil spreading and we just to get along, we go in Rodney King mode real quick. Can't we all just get along? Yes, upon the truth. How many of you been to Mecca or Medina lately? Were you able to not notice something that you can't go next to the Prophet's grave? You can't do this. Ship, pida, ship, pida. They're not quiet for calling you off the deen. Why are you quiet when it comes to telling the truth? Why? They're not quiet. So what I'm saying, in order for it to change, people have to speak the truth. There's going to be ways, I got it, but say it. Speak the truth. Because misguidance does not disappear by mudahana. Can y'all say mudahana? Mudahana. Mudahana. That means to compromise your principles. That means to compromise your principles. And the people of Tasawwuf, they said the one who compromises his principles for himself or another will never get a cent of sincerity. Don't compromise your principles. Even if it should cost you your life. May Allah give us a long life. My last point. We're learning these things because we're trying to save generations. We're going to pass. But we still have offspring. We still have children. We need an environment where people can learn true Sunni Islam. And in the Black community, especially, that's almost obsolete. Except a few people who hide here and hide there and no. Just as the sun is clear and shining on a bright noonday, that's how Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah needs to be in our communities. May Allah give us success. May Allah give us steadfastness. May Allah give us the courage to carry this banner of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam with quwwah, with strength. Barakallahu fikum wa jazakum Allahu khairan. Any questions? We done? Or is the food ready, Rasul? Go ahead. You guys speak loud, I can't hear you. She never was Wahhabi. She never was Wahhabi. It's not Wahhabi. Fawzani. There is a difference. Taking pictures is this different upon among the scholars. There's a difference of taking pictures is a difference of opinion among the scholars. Why? Because photographs, according to the scholars that permit it, which are most of them, it is a reflection of images. It's not the image itself. So it's not like drawing a picture. So it's a difference of opinion among the scholars. So if one doesn't do it, like many of my teachers, they don't take pictures, right? So don't take it. And that is al-ahwatu fi-d-din. That is the most religious precautionary position. Don't do it. If you think something is not right, don't do it. However, the one who has a different opinion, you can't censor that person. So here's a rule. Y'all ready? There is no censoring in a religious issue where there is a valid scholarly difference of opinion. right? There is no censoring in an issue where there is a valid scholarly difference of opinion. So, for instance, in my opinion, the Malikis are all wrong. The Shafi'is are all right. But I never censor the Malikis. Why? Because it's a valid scholarly difference of opinion. And in that case, they could be right and we could be wrong. But I believe we are correct and they are wrong. Do you follow? But there's no censoring. So, Maliki, be Hanafi, be Shafi'i, be Hanbali, but be on the Sunnah. You follow the point? So you would never hear a disagreement. So you notice in this book, it was written by a Maliki, commentated on a Hanafi. Written by an Ash'ari, commentated by a Maturidi. Because it's all on the Sunnah. The Maliki was a joke. I was messing with Imam Malik. You got it?
Are there any other questions? Bismillah.
That's a whole book. Generally, what is the obligatory parts of Jumu'ah is the two khutbahs. And I only can speak in the Shafi'i school because there's a difference of opinion in some of the rules according to the schools. So that's why I say you have to follow a madhab. So in all the madhab, you would have a generally the two khutbahs and the 2 rak'ah after the prayer. And then you're going to have the rules and conditions and invalidators. So in the Jumu'ah, you got the 2 speeches, right? Sitting between the 2 speeches. And then the prayer of 2 rak'ah after it. Each of them has rules related to conditions, to integrals, and to invalidators in every school. So follow the school and learn them in each school that you follow. Say what?
Can you say that again? Generally speaking, what Imam Amin said is right and correct and is general. I'll just mention a few things that may differ a little bit that some people may notice. In the Maliki school, for example, you're not the Imam, you're attending Jummah, right? You come in the masjid, the khutbah is already going on. You don't make 2 rak'ahs. You sit right down. And you say, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar to yourself 4 times. You sit down, right? So that's one difference. In the other schools, when you come in, you make 2 rak'ahs. It doesn't matter if the khutbah started or not. Also, the Maliki school is kind of strict as far as the khatib, the one giving the khutbah. And they're very strict on the khutbah being in all Arabic. When I give the khutbah, I'm Shafi. So I don't know if that's what you were hitting for.
Didn't I tell you the Shafi'i madhab was better? Can I give you something? Because I see a mistake that happens a lot. There's a saying in Arabic for scholars. They say, Al-Ami laysa lahu madhab. The common person doesn't have a madhab. His madhab is the madhab of the faqih, the scholar who gives him the legal judgment. In other words, you're not considered following a madhab till you know the rules in all of the cases in that madhab. In other words, if you don't know from A to Z in any school the rulings related to that school, you're not in that school. So you cannot say, I only learned how to make wudu as a Shafi'i, but I'm Shafi'i, but I don't know how to pray properly, I don't know how to fast. Then I have to be Maliki or Hanafi or Hanbali, whatever it is in those cases. This is one of the most disturbing things we see in our community. A person doesn't learn the rules, doesn't have the teachers, and his comeback excuse is, I'm not following that madhab. You don't follow any madhab. You need to learn. Do y'all follow that? So never for none of us, because all of us are the same, don't let your ascription in some cases to one madhab prevent you from learning the cases you don't know in another madhab. The important thing is that you follow one of the valid four madhabs correctly. Do you got it? That's very important. So you may be Maliki in this, and Hanafi in that, and Shafi'i in that, and Hanbali in that. And the way you only can get out of that is you learn the entire book from cover to cover with a teacher. That's the objective. Not to mix schools, but to learn books. And that's what we have to do. We need to learn books with teachers. So then we can really be Shafi'i, Maliki, Hanbali, and Hanafi, or whatever. Allah knows best.
Just one more thing in addition to that. Like Imam Amin said, you have to be careful. A lot of times people claim to be Maliki or other than that. And then when you actually interact with them, they never even study a basic text in the school. Follow me? Like, for example, a lot of people play this game. A person may be a hafiz of Quran, for example, and then tell you that they're Maliki. And then he's from another country, so we automatically shut down our critical eye and believe them. When in reality, yes, he may or may not be a hafiz of Quran. That don't make you a scholar or any authority on fiqh. And then when you zoom in on the person's biography, he never even studied the Akhdari or the Ashmawiya, which are basic books in Maliki fiqh. But they'll run around telling everybody Maliki fiqh, right? They follow Maliki fiqh. And then when an issue comes up that you can find in all the basic books, they don't even know the answer to it. And I'm being real specific like this because I had this experience before.
In Newark.
In Newark.
I can't help myself, no.
That's extremely important. You may say, oh, if you listen to Imam Amin's classes, you know that every Ash'ari is not an Ash'ari. So you got some Wahhabi dilly-dallying going on over there. And so some people go there and they say, oh, I studied at Ash'ari. You're like, oh, Ahl Sunnah. But their real practice is something else other than that. It's a lot going on. So, you think he's a hafiz of Quran, but he don't know all of these things. And so you have to be careful. So that's why we're doing what we're doing. We're teaching the basic books with chains of authority, with living teachers. And the more you do that, the more you'll be able to pick up on that type of stuff. Like, oh, this cat running a game over here. So just keep that in mind. So a lot of people, they're Maliki, they're Shafi, and name only. That's it. They're just making claims.
I think they give him a sign this time.
We took a lesson. Al-Qana'atu qalil min at-ta'am. a little bit of food. No, I'm joking. All right, so no, we finished. No. Got questions for the lessons, please. But extra questions, can you hold off? Because we got a time limit and we don't want to go over the time. And the food isn't ready, and I don't want nobody to leave here hungry. All right? So if you got questions on the lessons, you can ask. Anybody got questions on the lesson? No? No questions on the lesson? So now what we're going to do, inshallah ta'ala, the women going to go eat first, and then the men, inshallah. All right? All right? So, hold on. The imam is going to eat first, because you want them to eat first? All right. Baby, you all right? So they say it's okay for the women to go first. So inshallah, y'all go eat first, and then the men's going to eat. There's a lot of food. Take some first, let everybody get some, and then you can go back for seconds. We appreciate your attendance. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of you. I'd like to give a shout out to the sisters that did all the work, that prepared the food, that brought the food, and everybody else.